Well, hello there, Tankers of the Blitz universe. I'm Flossie, and today I will be doing part number 3 of my Unreal Engine video series, in which today, specifically, I will be going over all of the gameplay aspects, as well as a few unique settings that I figured you guys should know before you're able to get your hands on the test build of Unreal Engine for yourselves. So, before we do get started, I obviously want to say, for any of you who have not yet subscribed to my channel yet, I highly recommend you do so, as it not only supports this content, but you can stay up to date when I post new videos, especially on Unreal Engine, and other new features in the future. But with that out of the way, let's get on into the video. So first things first, I'm going to start off by going to my settings tab, and I'm going to make my way over to the graphics settings. So there's a few different things that I want to note in the graphics settings, especially for all of you players who are going to be testing this build of the game for yourselves. First off, the FPS rate limit, it's a little bit higher than what you guys are normally used to. You can now basically turn your FPS up to the maximum amount of FPS that your monitor can handle. So since I have a 144 Hz monitor, instead of my frame rate being limited to 120 FPS, I can now change it all the way up to 144, which is kind of nice. It makes the game feel even smoother than it would have been before. That's a PC only feature there, I think. For mobile, you do have the option for 120 FPS, but one thing to note with mobile is if you run the game on 120 FPS with max graphics, your battery is going to last about 20 minutes. It is awful on battery time, your battery is going to drain so very quickly. I think Wargaming just hasn't completely optimized the game yet for max graphics and stuff, and I use an iPad Pro too, so it's not like I'm using a bad device either. But yeah, the game doesn't run very well on max settings and 120 FPS on iPad Pro, at least from my experience. Now, obviously, because this is the first version of Unreal Engine, like the very first test version, it's not going to run as smoothly as, let's say, the next version or 2 versions from now. Like, obviously, as they progress through the updating and fixing bugs and stuff, the game will run better. But as of right now, I'm just sharing my experiences with you guys so you know what to expect. So if you are using a mobile device and it's a higher end one, I recommend you guys put your settings to mainly high. Anything that says ultra, I would switch it down to the high setting, just to kind of save your, not only your battery power, but your FPS in game as well. So that's setting set number 1 that I kind of wanted to go over. Next, I'm going to take you through the game settings here. And the very first setting you're going to notice here is armor highlighting. Now, what that means is, as of right now, in the current version of Blitz that we all play and know, the armor highlighting is what you would see here in the Unreal Engine. It would be set to classic, which means that if you're looking at an enemy tank, shooting at the enemy tank's gray spot is the weak spot. In the new version of Unreal Engine, the weak spots of tanks are red. It's so weird. I don't even know what to tell you guys. When I first saw this, when I first loaded into battle and I saw red armor, I was like, there's no way a 4005 now can't be penned frontally. It was the weirdest thing ever. So yeah, it's basically inverted in the Unreal Engine update. So for all of you guys who don't like that, what you have to do is go into your settings, go to the game tab like I'm in right now, and click this on to classic, the left side arrow right here. You can also change it to combined, which is just it's even weirder, honestly. I personally like classic, but maybe some people will like to mess around with the other features or other options. But yeah, just so you guys know, to get back to normal armor highlighting, click on classic. Everything else is pretty much the same. You can disable your movement arrows, all that sort of stuff. Obviously, you can change camos for players, for not players, for just yourself, whatever you want. Same sort of thing. You can, in fact, change your minimap size now, though. That's another interesting feature right there that some players might like. I have mine set to ×3, so it'll be the biggest it can possibly be. And obviously, you have your colorblind mode and some other different settings right there. So moving on to some other features here, I'm going to take you through the garage a little bit more so you kind of can see what you're working with. You can see the very bottom of your garage is like the Blitz we know right now. You can scroll through your tanks, and if you go to the bottom left here, you will see there is the same sort of search icon feature that you normally would be able to use in current Blitz. So let's say you want to play a tier 10 medium, you can click on the 7 icon, which is now tier 10 in this game, and click on the medium tank icon, and that's how you'll see all of your tier 10 mediums. And you can also do it by nation as well, or faction, I guess. You can see the factions right here. And if I wanted to go to Germany, tier 10 medium, there you go. There's all the German tier 10 mediums. So it works the exact same way that it does currently. It's just laid out slightly different. So that's all fine and dandy right there. So let me click off of that. And yeah, there you go. So that's one feature right there. The next thing I want to go to is the upgrades tab. Now, if you're using a tech tree tank, let's say I'm going to pick the 4202. So if I go to my upgrades tab right here and I click on the little icon that says guns down below, this is where you can switch the 2 gun options. You can see right here. If I go to my shells part of this tab, I can see that I am using the standard heat gun. And then if I equip this gun right here, this is now the Hesh firing gun, as you can see by the change to the shells tab right here. So this is kind of where you can learn a little bit more about the shells of your tank and figure out what guns you're using. You also have your equipment tab up here as well. So obviously calibrated shells is in here still. You have refined gun, all that stuff that you would normally see. But then you also have this down here. Now, Wargaming did in fact remove provisions from this version of the game. So now your provisions, there's going to be a couple different ones, and they are located in the equipment tab. Wargaming removed the bottom middle equipment that used to be there, and so that's now gone, and it's been replaced with either protective kit or you have the power drink, aka large food. There you go. That's mainly the changes to equipment. The rest of it's still the same, obviously, besides the color changes there. You do have your styles here, so this is where you're going to see all of your different camos. I'm not going to go through this tab as it's not that finished, like it's in a very unfinished state right now, but you can kind of see how camos are going to work. It works like this in WoTP, where you have different sets of camos to go through, and then that's where you're going to find all of your camos that you own. Yeah, you get the idea. There's a lot of different camo sets that you can kind of see, and that is where they will be located. Next, you have your ammo tab, which will go through obviously all of the different ammo that you have, and if you click on each one of them, you can read the description for them. Pretty standard stuff right there. And then finally, if you go to the far left one, you can go and change out your consumables right here. I'm not really sure why they made it look like this, but anyways, you can kind of switch the slots of consumables. So let's say you wanted this repair kit or med kit thing in the middle, then you can do that. You can click switch slots, and then you can either tap on the bottom or the top one to move it around. So if I'm kind of equipping my tank, I'm going to press on the multi-use repair kit on the left here, and then I'm going to switch it out right there. And then this one I'm obviously going to keep in the middle, and then I'll put my adrenaline on the bottom like that. So there you go. And you can see, unfortunately, it uses these stupid new currency silver bars or whatever the hell this is. Wargaming needs to delete that. Everyone knows that's a stupid idea, because like you have to buy these with credits anyways. Why not just make it so you can equip your consumables with credits? Like there's no point in adding another step. That whole thing's stupid. But anyways, there you go. That's the loadout tab of things, and that's basically what you can expect right here. There's also a details tab, which is kind of different view of your tank, I guess. And then you also have unique features, which is kind of what the unique features of the tank might be. So I think for certain light tanks, this might tell you that it has adaptive concealment or the T100 LT spotting mechanic, stuff like that. So there you go. That's pretty much your loadout right there. And then obviously you can change your commanders around, but we already went over that in the last video. So there you go. Now, before I do go into gameplay, I want to show you guys the different game modes that will be available for you to try out. Now, obviously these aren't finished, so a lot of the features that are available in these modes when the game is going to be finished and out of test are not going to be working. But you can kind of get the idea of how it's going to be laid out. So you have your random battles right here. So non-ranked gameplay. No stats involved whatsoever in this mode. You have your training rooms down at the bottom right here. And then obviously the main mode that most people are going to be interested in is ranked mode. On the topic of ranked battles, I will show you guys where your stats, I say quote unquote stats in quotations for a reason, but this is where your stats will be located. If you go to your profile, then here you go. This is your stats page. You can see your total battles played. Your masteries will be shown. Obviously mine say 0 because I haven't aced anything on this test build, but all of your original medals will still be available on Unreal Engine. None of that will be getting removed from your account. It's all going to be over here. Your division or your rank is going to be front and center. So as you progress, this is where you're going to see, I guess this is how you're going to base skill off of in the new version of the game, something like that, I guess. And then it shows you your most used tank down here. I think this could use some reworking for sure. I think it's laid out kind of weird. I don't really like how you have to go then into a separate tab to see like your total stats page. This is technically what your stats look like now in Unreal Engine. I don't really think this is all that good looking. I think they could have done a way better job of laying this out. But yeah, that's that. And then you have your tank stats here. Again, this was laid out way better and more simple in the current version of Blitz. So hopefully they do something about changing this to make it simpler. But you can see your average damage above the tanks right there. Yeah, and this is a whole list right here. It's very confusing. I don't really understand much about it. It's kind of strange, guys. I don't really know what to say about it, but there you go. I'm just showing you where the stats page is located for all of you players who care about that sort of thing. Yeah, it's kind of gone in a way. I'm not gonna lie. It's pretty much useless, but other than the fact that you can see your division, but I'm not sure if other people can see your division at all. I really don't know how that works, but we're going to jump into a ranked battle right here. And after a 5-minute queue, because there aren't many players on the server at the moment, we're getting into a game. So here you go. This is what the loading screen will look like in battle. You can kind of see it's more of a top-down view of the map. I do actually like the look of this screen. I think it's really clean. I think it looks good with all the tank icons on the side. You can kind of see people's avatars and backgrounds kind of more clearly in this view. And so I do overall like the look of that. So here is what everything looks like in battle. We're on Normandy right now. And you can kind of see, like, for the most part, the game looks similar to what it is now. Obviously, the game will not be running as well as it does currently because this is a test build. Obviously, it's going to become smoother as Wargaming does add more updates and fixes bugs. But I'm just showing you guys the basics and it's kind of to show you what things look like. So you can see here, the zoom in bar, like the little circle that goes around your gun when you're aiming in, that looks different. And you can see here, just to demonstrate what the armor highlighting looks like, yeah, it's very weird. Look at this. Like, the red area on the cron is where I can pen, and the gray is where it's going to be a bounce. Like, that is so odd to me right there. But yeah, you can kind of get an idea of what the gameplay is going to look like. Obviously, I'm playing all against bots because, like I said before, there's not really many people on at this time, especially since all of you guys have not been given access to this yet. But you can see here, yeah, my speed boost is almost back. All the stuff on the right hand side is pretty much the same. However, I will note one thing. You can see here the ammo loadout. I have unlimited AP shells and unlimited HE. That is not a glitch. That is what Wargaming is going to be implementing. So you basically only need to equip premium shells. The other two, AP and HE, are going to be unlimited, which is kind of interesting. I don't think it's really a bad thing. It doesn't really matter to me. If anything, it's kind of a good thing because then you don't have to worry about your ammo at all. So yeah, it's interesting in that sense. But yeah, you can kind of see what the gameplay is like. Obviously, the game looks pretty decent on this map. Some of the newer maps that they actually like put more effort into updating look a lot better than this. And I'm really interested to see if Wargaming changes anything about the graphics from now until when the game update is actually finalized. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I'm just going to play through this game here. Obviously, we're going to shoot this T-57. It's still so strange to me that armor highlighting is red by default. And yes, guys, this is by default here. So you can kind of see when you load up the test build for yourself, that's what it's going to be like. And you can also see I'm using Duncan here. You can see how his ability is filling up at the bottom. It doesn't matter if you pen or don't pen your shots. It'll fill up the bar no matter what. So you can see here, now that I have shot twice, my third shell is going to do way more damage. So we're going to check it out here using HE with the grill in front of me. 550 roll with my HE. That's kind of ridiculous. And we're going to shoot a normal one, 466. It's still pretty nice. It's definitely not as broken as when Duncan was first introduced into the game, but I think it's fairly decent right now nonetheless. So obviously I'm the last one. Let's see here. Oh boy. Hello, grill. Wait, what? Bruh. How am I bouncing the 140's turret, bro? There we go. Wow, that took a while. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure I can actually just win this game. For some reason, they reset the sensitivity in the test build. So, like, my sensitivity is super duper high. It's like I'm playing with Droodle's controls right now. I don't know how he does super high sensitivity. But anyways, if my aim's terrible, that's why. Yeah, I just didn't bother to lower it. So, anyways, let's just finish off this WZ here. 356. Oh boy. There we go. And let's use Duncan's ability. Let's see how high we can roll. 457. And there we go. We finished him off with the kill shot and a victory. Whoa, guys. That was challenging gameplay. Anyways, here's another new feature. Here's what the end game screen will look like. So at the very top here, these are all your medals. So you will still see what medals you have received in battle. Let me go back there. And underneath each medal, you can see you receive credits for how well you do in each game. So you can see you earn a certain amount of credits for doing damage, a certain amount of credits for earning whatever this medal is here, damaged tank modules, I guess, and so on and so forth. You can see here for destroying players fully, you get more credits, and the list goes on and on. So I made a total of 92k credits from that game. And yeah, that's the sort of first page there. The second page is your XP, and that will rank up your sets. So you'll be able to see how much set XP you've earned from this game. So I earned 18,000 set XP and 6,000 XP towards my commander right there. And then the final screen is the same as it normally would be in Blitz, which is how well you did compared to the rest of your team. It doesn't look like you can click on anyone else's profile, so I'm not sure if you can even view anyone's stats at all. And this is the ranked mode, by the way, so I really don't know how that part of the game is going to work, whether you can even view people's profiles at all or not, but that's only time will tell about that. So there we go. And after another 5 minutes in queue, we're going to be getting into battle number 2. I'm not going to do any more games than this, so hopefully I get onto a good map this time around, like a new one. But the queues are just too long for me to really showcase all of the maps that the game will have, like the updated ones, like Canal or whatever. Oh, here's Middleburg, whatever. This map I don't think got many changes, but maps like Canal got changed a lot. Dead Rail got changed a lot. A lot of the TD positions on Dead Rail got nerfed, so it will be a little bit easier for heavy tanks to not get nuked by a tank destroyer sitting in the back. That's very nice. Castilla got changed a little bit as well, from what I'm aware. So yeah, but anyways, this map looks really good though. I like the big hills in the background. Overall, I think this is a good looking map. But anyways, we're going to get into game number 2 right here. We're going to see what happens. But basically, you kind of get the idea of the gameplay. I changed the armor highlighting, like I said, back to normal. So it'll be more like what actual Blitz is right now. And yeah, you can see here, a pen is gray. I do think one problem is the numbers. You can see when I damage someone like this WZ right here, the numbers that show up are like the same color as the like text box around it. It's so weird. Like you see here, the 400 damage that I just dealt is almost the same color as the freaking background it has. Like they need to change that because it's super difficult to see what damage you're dealing to people. It's really odd. But I do like the look of the kill, like explosion thing when someone dies. I think that looks really cool. Yeah, so overall, I don't mind the gameplay all that much. It hasn't changed too much from what we know right now in terms of, like I said, the gameplay itself. So expect similar things. But yeah, I mean, here we go. We're going to kill the WZ. And the sound effect as well when you kill someone is a little bit different. And yeah, I turned off the crew voice sounds because they're really annoying. But here you go. I'll turn them on for you guys so you can blast your eardrums out listening to this guy yap about what damage he's dealing to the tank. god, bro. Listen to this, guys. Module damaged. Like, yeah, anyways, bro, I don't care. But yeah, there you go. That's what the commanders sound like. It's very goofy. But anyways. But yeah, if we're taking a look at like bushes and physics like that as well, if you're on a snowy map, the snow will fall off the roof of the building that you shoot at. If you're on a normal looking map like this, you can see the trees and bushes and stuff move when you shoot near them, which is kind of nice. So yeah, overall the physics are pretty solid. And obviously you can kind of like drift around a little bit, which I think they need to fix some of the physics when it comes to drifting in this game because like, yeah, they're a little bit weird. Also, another side note as well, there are no more invisible walls in this game. So let's say you wanted to just go rock climbing. You can actually do that now on certain maps. This one, they did put the barrier, but like, look, you can see here, I'm just like easily climbing up this thing. Bro, what is this? You can see like, bro, climbing up the freaking invisible wall on the edge of the map. You can do that for some reason. I don't know. Some of the physics are a little bit goofy. Like, they definitely need to tweak those a little bit. You can see here, like, bruh. But yeah, this is kind of what it looks like. You can flip your tanks now quite easily. But yeah, you can see how the physics work. Like, bruh, you can literally go rock climbing in your tank. Look at this thing, bruh. It's just climbing all over the place. So yeah, different maps, you'll actually be able to climb up to different positions now, which is kind of funny. I don't know if they're going to leave that in the game or not, but you kind of get the idea. So there you go. This is the normal armor highlighting that we know and love. I don't really understand how that didn't pen, but anyways, you get the idea. We're going to kill off the grill using my reserve shell because I'm a very smart, amazing player in this game. So there you go. Going to get one into the chieftain, and he does kill me. But there you go. That's the kind of death animation. My commander's still yapping on about random stuff. So yeah, there you go. And the defeat screen looks the exact same as well. Still shows you the amount of credits you make. I somehow still made 92,000 credits for a loss, which is very interesting. And you can see the XP I got right there. So there you go, guys. That is the first look at some basic gameplay of Unreal Engine, as well as some other secret settings that you guys would probably want to know more about. For any of you who are not yet subscribed to my channel, I highly recommend you do so, as it's a great way to support content, like I said before, and stay updated on when I post videos about Unreal Engine and any other kind of content in the future. And with that, excuse me, I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye, guys.